Captain Jake Morrison stood at the big window on his ship's control room. He watched 3 cargo ships move slowly toward Kepler Station. The ships carried food, tools, and medicine for the people who lived on the mining station. It was just another normal day in space, or so Jake thought. Kepler Station was the farthest place humans had built in this part of space. The station sat near a group of rocks that had valuable metals inside them. About 200 people lived there, mining the rocks and sending the metals back to Earth. They had been there for 3 years without any problems. Jake's ship, the UES Vengeance, was there to protect the cargo ships. It was not a big warship, just a patrol boat with some guns. Most days, Jake and his crew of 20 people just watched empty space and made sure nothing bad happened to the supply ships. But today was different. Today, something was watching them back. Deep in space, hidden behind twisted light that made them invisible, alien ships waited. These ships belonged to the Zephyrian Empire. The aliens had been watching humans for many months. They studied how humans moved through space, where they built their stations, and how many ships they had. Admiral Vextar commanded the alien fleet from his huge ship. He was tall and thin, with gray skin and 4 arms. His people had ruled this part of space for 1,000 years. They had destroyed many other races who tried to live here. Now it was time to destroy the humans, too. "These humans are weak," Admiral Vextar told his officers. "Their ships are slow and their weapons are old. We will kill them all today, and they will never come back to our space." The other aliens agreed. They had fought many wars and always won. The humans looked no different from all the other weak races they had wiped out before. At exactly noon, station time, the alien ships appeared. They came out of their hiding like hungry wolves. There were 12 of them, each one twice as big as Jake's ship. The alien ships looked alive with smooth curves and no straight lines. They moved through space like swimming fish. Commander Lisa Hayes was in charge of Kepler Station. She was drinking coffee in her office when the alarm started screaming. She ran to the control room and saw the alien ships on her screens. "All ships, this is Kepler Station," she said into her radio. "We have unknown ships approaching. They do not answer our calls." Jake Morrison saw the alien ships too. His heart started beating fast. "All crew to battle stations," he ordered. "Get ready to fight." But Jake knew his small ship could not fight 12 big alien ships. The cargo ships had no weapons at all. They were sitting ducks. The aliens attacked without warning. Bright green beams shot out from their ships. The first beam hit one of the cargo ships. The ship exploded into a ball of fire and metal pieces. 20 people died in 1 second. "Fire back!" Jake shouted. His ship's guns shot red laser beams at the nearest alien ship. The beams hit the alien ship but did no damage. The alien ship's skin just soaked up the laser fire like a sponge soaks up water. The second cargo ship tried to run away. It turned around and pushed its engines as hard as they could go. But the alien ships were much faster. 2 green beams hit the cargo ship from behind. It broke apart like a toy. Commander Hayes watched from the station as the alien ships killed the cargo ships. She knew her station would be next. Kepler Station had some defense guns, but they were old and weak. They were made to scare away space. Pirates not fight a real war. "Send a message to Earth," she told her radio officer. "Tell them we are under attack by unknown aliens. Tell them these aliens want to kill us all." The radio officer sent the message just as the alien ships turned toward the station. Green beams started hitting the station's outer walls. The walls were thick, but they would not last long against the alien weapons. Lieutenant Sam Turner was the station's chief engineer. He was a young man with red hair and smart eyes. When the alien beams started hitting the station, Sam had an idea. The station used big lasers to cut metal out of the space rocks. Maybe he could turn those lasers into weapons. Sam ran through the station's halls as the lights flickered and the walls shook. He reached the mining control room and started working on the laser controls. The mining lasers were much more powerful than the station's defense guns. If he could aim them at the alien ships, maybe he could hurt them. Outside, Jake Morrison's ship was still fighting. His guns kept shooting at the aliens, but the laser beams just bounced off their ships. One alien ship turned its attention to Jake. A green beam shot out and hit the Vengeance's left side. The ship shook hard and smoke filled the air. "We're hit bad," Jake's engineer reported. "The left engine is dead and we're losing air." Jake knew his ship was dying, but he would not give up. "Keep firing," he ordered. "Make them work for it." Back on the station, Sam Turner finished changing the mining laser controls. The big lasers slowly turned away from the space rocks and pointed at the nearest alien ship. Sam took a deep breath and pushed the fire button. A thick red beam shot out from the station. It was much stronger than any weapon the humans had used before. The beam hit an alien ship right in the middle. The alien ship's living skin started to burn and bubble. For the first time in the fight, an alien ship was hurt. Admiral Vextar saw his ship get damaged and felt surprised. "How did they do that?" he asked his officers. "Those are not military weapons." But Sam's victory did not last long. The other alien ships all turned their guns toward the station. Many green beams hit the station at the same time. The walls cracked and broke. Air started rushing out into space. Commander Hayes knew the station was lost. "All people to the escape pods," she ordered over the speakers. "This is not a drill. Get to the pods now." Families ran through the station's halls carrying their children and whatever they could grab. The escape pods were small ships that could carry people away from danger, but there were not enough pods for everyone. Sam Turner stayed at his laser controls, still firing at the alien ships. He helped cover the escape pods as they launched into space. One by one, the small pods flew away from the dying station. Some made it to safety. Others were shot down by the aliens. Jake Morrison's ship was also dying. Half his crew was hurt and most of his weapons were broken. But he saw the escape pods trying to get away and knew what he had to do. "All power to engines," Jake ordered. "We're going to ram that big alien ship." Jake's ship flew straight at Admiral Vexistar's command ship. The aliens shot at Jake's ship with everything they had. The Vengeance caught fire and started breaking apart, but Jake kept flying forward, at E. The last second, Jake's ship hit the alien command ship's side. Both ships exploded in a ball of fire. Jake Morrison and his crew died, but their sacrifice damaged the alien admiral's ship and gave more escape pods time to get away. Commander Hayes was in one of the last escape pods to leave the station. She watched through the small window as the alien ships finished destroying everything humans had built. The mining station broke apart and burned. The defense platforms were smashed to pieces. In 1 hour, 3 years of human work was turned into floating junk. But Hayes and 43 other people escaped in the pods. They would carry the news back to Earth. They would tell everyone what happened at Kepler Station. They would warn Earth that humanity was no longer alone in space, and that the aliens who found them wanted all humans dead. Admiral Vextar looked at the wreckage of Kepler Station from his damaged ship. His officers were fixing the holes that Jake Morrison's ship had made. The Admiral felt pleased with his victory. "The humans are weak, just as I thought," he told his officers. "They will hear about this attack and run back to their homeworld. They will never bother us again." The Admiral was very wrong. Humans do not run away when someone tries to kill them. They get angry. And when humans get angry, they start building bigger weapons. The escape pods from Kepler Station reached the nearest human outpost after 3 days of flying through empty space. Commander Lisa Hayes and the other survivors were tired, hungry, and scared. But they had an important message to deliver. The news traveled fast through human space. Radio signals carried the terrible story from one planet to another. An alien race had attacked Kepler Station. They destroyed everything and killed most of the people there. The aliens had weapons that could cut through human ships like paper. On Earth, President Claire Davis sat in her office reading the reports. She was a strong woman who had led Earth through many hard times. But this news was different. This was not a problem between human colonies or a natural disaster. This was war. President Davis called a meeting with all the important leaders from Earth and the other human worlds. They met in a big room in New York where the United Earth Council made decisions. The room was full of worried faces. "Friends," President Davis said as she stood up, "we have a problem. Someone out there wants to kill us all. They think we are weak and will run away. They are wrong." She looked around the room at all the leaders. "These aliens sent us a message when they destroyed Kepler Station. They wanted us to be afraid. Now we will send them a message back. Our message will be written with big guns and warships. The leaders talked for hours about what to do. Some wanted to try talking to the aliens. Others wanted to build stronger defenses around human worlds, but President Davis had a different idea. "We are not going to hide," she said. "We are going to fight back, and we are going to win." Admiral Ben Carter was called to Earth the next day. He was the best military commander humans had. He had fought space pirates and solved problems between colonies. He was smart, tough, and never gave up. President Davis met with Admiral Carter in her private office. "Ben," she said, "I need you to build me an army. Not just any army. I need an army that can beat aliens with weapons we have never seen before." Admiral Carter looked at the reports about Kepler Station. He saw how easily the alien weapons had destroyed human ships. "Our current ships will not work," he said. "We need something completely new." "Then build it," President Davis replied. "You have whatever you need: money, people, materials, time. Just build me ships that can fight these aliens and win." Admiral Carter knew exactly who to call. Dr. Nina Cross worked at a secret research center on the moon. She and her team had been designing new kinds of warships for years. The government had never built these ships because they were too expensive and too dangerous for peacetime. But peacetime was over now. Dr. Cross was a thin woman with gray hair and smart eyes. She had studied weapons and ship design for 20 years. When Admiral Carter called her, she was ready. "Admiral," she said over the video screen, "my team has been waiting for this call. We have plans for ships that will scare those aliens back to wherever they came from." "Show me," Admiral Carter said. Dr. Cross sent him the files on her computer. Admiral Carter looked at the ship designs and felt amazed. These were not exploration ships or patrol boats. These were pure war machines built to destroy anything that got in their way. The first design was called the UES Reaper. It was twice as big as any ship humans had ever built. The Reaper had plasma cannons that could shoot beams hot enough to melt metal. It had armor thick enough to stop the alien green beams. It had engines fast enough to catch any enemy ship. The second design was the UES Devastator. This ship carried hundreds of missiles that could follow enemy ships even if they tried to run away. The missiles were smart and could think for themselves. They would chase alien ships until they caught them and exploded. But the best design was the UES Retribution. This would be Admiral Carter's command ship. It was the biggest and strongest warship ever planned. The Retribution had something Dr. Cross called overkill protocol. This meant the ship had enough weapons to not just beat the enemy, but to make sure nothing was left alive to threaten humans ever again. "How long will it take to build these ships?" Admiral Carter asked. "If we work day and night and use every shipyard we have, maybe 6 months, Dr. Cross replied. "You have 4 months, Admiral Carter said. "Those aliens think they have plenty of time to plan their next attack. Let's surprise them." Work started immediately on every human world. The shipyards on Luna, Mars, and the asteroid belt began building the new warships. Thousands of people worked without stopping. They welded metal, installed weapons, and tested engines. Captain Alex Stone was chosen to command the UES Reaper. He was a young officer who had fought space pirates and knew how to use weapons in battle. When he saw his new ship being built, he smiled for the first time since hearing about Kepler Station. Captain Kate Morgan got command of the UES Devastator. She was an expert at using missiles and had sunk many pirate ships. Her new ship would carry more missiles than 10 old ships combined. The best engineers were chosen to work on the new ships. Chief Engineer Ron Phillips was put in charge of the UES Retribution's weapons. He had designed the overkill protocol and wanted to see it work in battle. "Sir," Phillips told Admiral Carter, "when we are done with these ships, the aliens will wish they had never heard of humans." But building the ships was only part of the job. The crews had to learn how to use the new weapons. Training started while the ships were still being built. Pilots practiced shooting the new plasma cannons. Gunners learned how to use the smart missiles. Engineers studied how to fix battle damage quickly. Captain Danny Rodriguez was given command of a smaller ship called the UES Lightning. This ship was built for sneaking around and attacking enemies by surprise. It had special armor that made it almost invisible to enemy sensors. Major Kelly Brooks commanded the UES Havoc, a ship designed to carry soldiers who would board enemy ships and fight hand-to-hand. The ship had special pods that could be shot at enemy ships like bullets. The pods would stick to the enemy ship's hull and cut holes so the soldiers could get inside. As the months passed, the new ships began to take shape. Workers installed the plasma cannons on the Reaper. The Devastator's missile pods were loaded and tested. The Retribution grew bigger and more dangerous every day. Dr. Cross worked without sleeping much, checking every detail of the ships. These aliens made a big mistake, she told her team. They think humans are weak because our old ships were weak. They do not know that humans learn from their mistakes and build better tools. News reporters were not allowed to see the new ships being built. The government wanted to keep them secret from any alien spies, but rumors spread through human space. People talked about new weapons and big warships that would make the aliens sorry they had attacked humans. President Davis visited the shipyards on Mars to see the work being done. She walked through the UES Retribution while it was still being built. The ship was so big that it took her an hour to walk from one end to the other. "This is not just a warship," she told Admiral Carter. "This is our promise to every human in the galaxy. No one will hurt us again without paying a terrible price." 4 months after the attack on Kepler Station, the new ships were ready. They were bigger, faster, and more dangerous than anything humans had ever built before. The crews were trained and eager to fight. Admiral Carter stood on the bridge of the UES Retribution and looked out at his new fleet. 50 warships floated in space around him, all carrying weapons designed to destroy alien ships. The fleet was ready for war. "Send a message to all human colonies," Admiral Carter ordered. "Tell them the cavalry is coming. Tell them we are going to make those aliens regret they ever found us." The war was about to begin, but this time humans would not be the victims. This time they would be the hunters. Commander Zalthek floated in his bioship's control room, watching the empty space around the Vega system. His ship was alive, made from grown tissue and living metal. The walls pulsed like a heartbeat, and the controls responded to his thoughts. Zalthek commanded 12 bioships, all patrolling this area of space for any human activity. After the easy victory at Kepler Station, Admiral Vextar had sent patrol groups to watch for human ships trying to escape their home worlds. "The humans will run," Zalthek told his crew. "They will try to flee to other parts of space where we cannot find them, but we will catch them and destroy them all." The other aliens on his ship agreed. They had seen how easily their weapons had destroyed the human station. The humans had weak ships and old guns. Fighting them was like stepping on insects. But 3 days ago, their long-range sensors had detected something strange. Human ships were moving toward the Vega system, not away from it. The ships were bigger than any humans had built before, and they moved in a way that suggested military training. "Maybe the humans are coming to fight us," one of Zalthek's officers suggested. "Should we call for more ships?" Zalthek laughed, a sound like grinding metal. 12 of our bioships destroyed their strongest outpost. What can a few human ships do to us? We will crush them and send their wreckage back to Earth as a warning." Far away in space, hidden behind a small moon, Captain Danny Rodriguez watched the alien ships through his sensors. His ship, the UES Lightning, was invisible to alien eyes. The special armor made his ship look like empty space on their screens. "Sir," his sensor officer whispered, "we count 12 alien ships. They are spread out in a patrol pattern, just like Admiral Carter predicted." Danny nodded. The aliens were confident and not expecting trouble. That would be their first mistake. Their last mistake would be attacking humans in the first place. "Send the signal," Danny ordered. "Tell Admiral Carter we have found them." The message traveled through space using a new type of radio that the aliens could not detect. Within hours, the human fleet received Danny's report and began moving toward the Vega system. Admiral Carter stood on the bridge of the UES Retribution, studying the battle plans. His fleet had 50 ships, but he did not want to use them all at once. This first battle would be a test of the new weapons and tactics. "Captain Morgan," Admiral Carter said into his radio. Take your ships and show these aliens what humans can do. Captain Rodriguez will guide you to the targets." Captain Alex Stone smiled as he heard the order. His ship, the UES Reaper, had been built for this moment. The plasma cannons were charged and ready. His crew of 200 people waited at their battle stations. Captain Kate Morgan checked her weapons one more time. The UES Devastator carried 400 smart missiles, each one capable of tracking and destroying an enemy ship. She had been dreaming of this fight for months. The human ships moved through space like silent ghosts. The new engines made no sound and left no trail that alien sensors could follow. They approached the alien patrol from 3 different directions. Commander Zalthek was the first to die. Captain Rodriguez brought the UES Lightning close to the alien commander's bioship without being seen. At point-blank range, Danny fired his antimatter cannons. The alien ship simply disappeared. 1 second it was there, a living vessel pulsing with alien life. The next second there was nothing but expanding gas and metal fragments. Commander Zalthek and his crew of 50 aliens died before they knew they were under attack. The other alien ships detected the explosion and began looking for enemies. Their bioships started changing shape, growing thicker armor and extending weapon pods. But they were looking in the wrong direction. Captain Stone's UES Reaper appeared behind the alien formation like a nightmare made real. The ship was twice as big as any alien vessel, painted black with red markings. Plasma cannons along its sides glowed like angry stars. "Fire," Captain Stone ordered. 10 plasma beams shot out from the Reaper at the same time. Each beam was hotter than the center of a star. The beams hit 3 alien bioships and burned through their living hulls like hot knives through butter. The alien ships screamed as they died. Their biohulls sent out psychic death cries that other aliens could feel. The remaining alien ships knew they were in terrible danger, but they did not know where the attacks were coming from. Captain Morgan's UES Devastator joined the battle from the 3rd direction. 200 smart missiles launched from the ship's pods, each one guided by its own tiny computer brain. The missiles spread out through space, hunting for alien ships. The aliens tried to shoot down the missiles with their green beam weapons. They destroyed 20 missiles, then 50, then 100, but there were too many missiles coming from too many directions. The remaining missiles found their targets and exploded. 4 more alien bioships died in balls of fire and torn metal. Their living hulls could heal from small wounds, but they could not survive being blown apart by high explosives. Only 5 alien ships remained alive, and they were trying to run away. But the human ships were faster and had better engines. There would be no escape. Major Kelly Brooks commanded the Marine assault ship UES Havoc. Her job was to test a new tactic that no alien had ever seen before. Instead of destroying enemy ships, she would capture them and take prisoners. "Launch boarding pods," Major Brooks ordered. 20 small pods shot out from the UES Havoc like bullets. Each pod carried 10 human Marines armed with rifles, explosives, and cutting tools. The pods were made to punch through enemy ship hulls and stick there like metal ticks. The alien crews watched in horror as the human pods hit their bioships and began cutting holes in the living hulls. The bioships tried to heal the wounds, but the humans kept cutting faster than the ships could repair themselves. Sergeant Tim Walsh led the first boarding team inside an alien bioship. The inside looked like a living cave, with walls that breathed and floors that felt warm to the touch. Strange alien writing glowed on the surfaces and the air smelled like rotting flowers. "Spread out and secure the ship," Sergeant Walsh ordered his Marines. "Watch out for alien crew members, but try to take some alive for questioning." The aliens inside the bioship had never fought enemies who came aboard their vessels. Their weapons were designed for ship-to-ship combat, not close fighting in narrow hallways. The human Marines had trained for exactly this kind of battle. The fight inside the alien ship lasted only 10 minutes. When it was over, Sergeant Walsh's team had captured 15 alien crew members and taken control of the bioship's vital systems. For the first time in the war, humans had captured an intact alien vessel. The other boarding teams had similar success. Within an hour, all 5 remaining alien ships had been captured or destroyed. Not a single human ship had been damaged in the battle. Admiral Carter received the victory reports while still traveling toward the battle site. 12 alien ships destroyed, 5 bioships captured, 60 alien prisoners taken. Human losses, 0 ships, 0 deaths, 3 minor injuries from the boarding actions. Sir, his communications officer reported, we are receiving a transmission from the alien commander we killed at Kepler Station. Admiral Vextar wants to talk. Admiral Carter smiled coldly. Put him on screen. Let's see what the alien leader has to say now. Admiral Vextar's face appeared on the main screen. The alien looked shocked and afraid. His forearms shook as he spoke. Human commander, Vextar said. What happened to my patrol fleet? We detected explosions, but no human ships on our sensors. Your patrol fleet is gone, Admiral Carter replied. We destroyed them all. Some of your people are now our prisoners. They will be treated well if they cooperate. Admiral Vextar could not believe what he was hearing. Impossible. Our bioships are superior to your primitive technology. How did you destroy 12 ships without losing any of your own? Admiral Carter leaned forward in his command chair. You made a mistake, alien. You thought we were weak, because our old ships were weak. You did not know that humans learn from their defeats and build better weapons. The alien admiral's face showed fear for the first time in his long life. What do you want, human? I want you to remember this day, Admiral Carter said. You wanted to exterminate us. Instead, you have awakened something you cannot control. This war is just beginning and you will lose. Admiral Carter cut the transmission and turned to his officers. Send a message to all human colonies. Tell them we have won our first victory. Tell them the aliens are not as strong as they pretended to be. The Battle of Vega was over, but its effects would ripple through the galaxy. For the first time in 1,000 years, someone had completely destroyed a Zephyrian fleet without taking any losses. The aliens who had ruled this part of space through fear and superior weapons had met their match. News of the victory reached Earth within days. People celebrated in the streets, knowing that their new warships could fight the aliens and win. President Davis received Admiral Carter's report and felt proud of what humanity had accomplished, but she also knew this was just the beginning. The aliens would not give up after one defeat. They would send bigger fleets and stronger weapons. The real test was still coming. Admiral Vextar returned to his homeworld and reported the disaster to his emperor. The news sent shockwaves through the alien empire. How had Admiral Vextar stood in his war room, surrounded by holographic displays showing the entire Zephyrian empire. Red dots marked the locations of his fleets, while blue dots showed human colonies. After the disaster at Vega, the Emperor had given him unlimited authority to destroy humanity completely. Gather every bioship in the Empire, Admiral Vextar ordered his commanders. Call back our fleets from the outer borders. Cancel all other military operations. Every weapon we have will be pointed at the human home system. The alien commanders looked worried. Sir, that will leave our other territories undefended. What if other enemies attack while we are gone? There are no other enemies, Vextar replied angrily. The humans are the only threat that matters now. If we do not destroy them completely, they will destroy us. For 3 months, Zephyrian bioships traveled toward human space from every corner of their empire. The largest military force in galactic history was gathering for one purpose: to wipe out every human in existence. The alien fleet that finally assembled was terrifying to see. 800 bioships of different sizes floated in formation. Some were as big as cities, carrying thousands of aliens and weapons that could crack planets. Others were fast attack ships designed to hunt down fleeing enemies. Admiral Vextar's command ship was the largest bioship ever grown. It was 5 miles long and shaped like a giant sea creature. The ship's living hull pulsed with veins of green energy, and weapon pods covered its surface like scales. The humans think they are clever, Admiral Vextar told his officers. They think their new ships make them strong, but they have never seen the full power of our empire. Today we will show them what real strength looks like. But the humans were not waiting passively for the alien attack. Captain Henry Clark commanded a small group of scout ships that had been watching alien movements for weeks. His ships were fast and almost invisible to alien sensors. Sir, His sensor officer reported. The alien fleet is moving toward the Sol system. 800 ships, maybe more. They will reach Earth's outer defenses in 5 days. Captain Clark smiled grimly. Send the report to Admiral Carter. Tell him the fish are swimming toward our net. Admiral Carter received the message while standing in the command center on Luna. Around him, dozens of officers worked at computer screens, coordinating the largest defensive operation in human history. Charts and displays covered every wall, showing ship positions and battle plans. 800 ships, Admiral Carter said to his staff. The aliens are throwing everything they have at us. Good. We only get one chance to end this war completely. General Claire Thompson, the head of Earth's military forces, stood beside Admiral Carter. She was a tough woman who had planned many successful battles. Sir, our intelligence reports suggest the aliens think we will try to defend Earth directly. Should we position our fleets around the home system? No, Admiral Carter replied. We are not going to defend Earth. We are going to make the aliens think we are running away, and then we will spring the biggest trap in military history. The plan was brilliant and dangerous. Most of the human fleet would appear to retreat toward Earth, making the aliens believe they were winning. The alien fleet would follow the retreating humans into the Sol system, where they would find a surprise waiting for them. Commander Ava Martinez commanded 20 escort carriers filled with old cargo ships made to look like military vessels. Her job was to make the aliens see exactly what they expected to see. Scared humans running home to hide behind Earth's defenses. Remember, Commander Martinez told her captains over the radio, we need to look defeated, but not helpless. The aliens have to believe they are chasing a broken fleet, not walking into a trap. Ava's fake fleet appeared at the edge of human space, moving slowly toward Earth. The ships looked damaged, with fake smoke trailing behind them and emergency lights flashing. Radio messages between the ships talked about heavy losses and requests for reinforcements that would never come. The alien scouts detected the retreating human fleet exactly as planned. Admiral Vextar received the reports and felt satisfied. The humans were running away just as he had predicted. Follow them, Admiral Vextar ordered. Do not let a single human ship escape. We will pursue them all the way to their home world and destroy everything. For 6 days, the alien fleet chased the fake human retreat through space. The aliens moved slowly, confident that they had plenty of time to catch their prey. They did not know that every asteroid, every satellite, and every space station in the Sol system had been turned into part of a massive weapon. Colonel Steve Johnson had spent months preparing the asteroid belt for this moment. His engineering teams had hollowed out hundreds of space rocks and filled them with missile launchers. From the outside, the asteroids looked normal. Inside, they were deadly weapons waiting to fire. Commander Amy Foster controlled the electronic warfare systems spread throughout the solar system. Every piece of human technology had been connected into one giant sensor network. She could track every alien ship and coordinate attacks from 1 million different sources. Captain Rick Barnes commanded 300 fighter squadrons hidden throughout the asteroid belt. The small, fast ships were painted to look like space rocks. When the aliens entered the system, they would find themselves surrounded by enemies they could not see. Admiral Carter watched from his command center as the alien fleet entered the outer edge of the Sol system. 800 bioships spread out in attack formation, their weapons charging for the final assault on Earth. They are exactly where we want them, Admiral Carter said. All units, prepare for Operation Mousetrap. Admiral Vextar stood on his command ship's bridge, looking at the blue-green planet called Earth. Soon that world would be a dead rock floating in space. The humans would be extinct, and the Zephyrian Empire would rule this system. Begin the attack, Admiral Vextar ordered. Destroy every human settlement in this system, leave nothing alive. The alien bioships began moving toward Earth's inner planets, their weapons powered up, ready to burn human cities to ash. Admiral Vextar felt the satisfaction of final victory. Then the asteroids came alive. Thousands of missiles launched from hidden positions throughout the asteroid belt. The space rocks that had looked harmless suddenly revealed weapon ports and targeting systems. The missiles swarmed toward the alien fleet like angry hornets. What is happening? Admiral Vextar shouted as alarms filled his ship. Where are those missiles coming from? Before his officers could answer, Captain Barnes's fighters attacked from every direction. The small human ships appeared from behind, asteroids and debris fields, firing plasma cannons and launching torpedoes. The aliens tried to shoot back, but there were too many targets coming from too many places. Commander Foster's electronic warfare systems began jamming alien communications and sensors. The bioships lost contact with each other and could not coordinate their defenses. They fired wildly at empty space while human weapons found their targets with perfect accuracy. Colonel Johnson's asteroid weapons fired continuously, sending wave after wave of missiles at the alien fleet. The aliens had expected to fight human ships in open space. Instead, they found themselves trapped in a system where every piece of space debris was trying to kill them. Admiral Carter watched the battle displays as alien ships began exploding throughout the solar system. All fleet units moved to attack positions. Time to finish this. The real human fleet appeared from behind Earth's moon, where they had been hiding for days. 50 capital ships led by the UES Retribution emerged from concealment with their weapons, fully charged. The aliens suddenly realized they had been tricked. This was not a desperate last stand by beaten humans. This was a carefully planned trap, and they had walked right into it. Admiral Vextar's bioship shook as human missiles hit its hull. The living armor tried to heal the damage, but more explosions followed faster than the ship could repair itself. "Retreat," Admiral Vextar ordered. "All ships retreat immediately." But there was nowhere to run. The human trap had been designed to prevent escape. Fast human ships blocked the exit routes while the asteroid weapons continued firing. The alien fleet was caught in a deadly net with no way out. The Battle of Sol lasted 18 hours. When the shooting stopped, pieces of alien bioships floated throughout the solar system like a metal graveyard. Of the 800 ships that had entered the system, only 50 survived to limp away into deep space. Admiral Carter stood in his command center, reading the casualty reports. Human losses: 12 ships damaged, 3 destroyed, 400. Personnel killed or wounded. Alien losses: 750 ships destroyed, unknown crew casualties, no prisoners taken. "Sir," his communications officer reported, "we are receiving surrender requests from several alien colonies. They want to negotiate peace terms." Admiral Carter looked at the displays showing the wreckage of the alien fleet. The Zephyrian Empire had thrown everything they had at humanity and lost. Their military power was broken. Their colonies were defenseless, and their emperor was probably looking for a place to hide. "Send a message to all alien territories," Admiral Carter ordered. "Tell them we are coming. Tell them to surrender now, or we will finish what they started at Kepler Station." The war was almost over, but the aliens would learn one final Ellie. Emperor Kexavol of the Zephyrian Empire sat on his crystal throne, staring at the reports from the Battle of Sol. The numbers were too terrible to believe. 750 bioships destroyed. Hundreds of thousands of his best warriors dead. The greatest military force in galactic history had been crushed by primitive humans. Around the Emperor, his advisors whispered nervously among themselves. Some talked about evacuating the capital world. Others suggested hiding in the outer territories until the humans forgot about them. All of them were afraid. "How is this possible?" Emperor Kexavol asked, his voice shaking with rage and fear. "Our bioships were superior. Our weapons were more advanced. Our empire has ruled for 1,000 years. How did these humans defeat us so completely?" Grand Admiral Kethmar, the only high-ranking military officer to survive the battle, stepped forward. His bio-armor was cracked and leaking green fluid from his wounds. "Your Majesty, we underestimated them. We thought they were weak because their old ships were weak. We did not realize they could learn and adapt so quickly. They turned their entire star system into a weapon," another advisor added. "Every asteroid, every satellite, every piece of space debris was part of their trap. We have never seen anything like it." Emperor Kexavol stood up from his throne, his forearms trembling with anger. "Then we will build more ships. We will create new weapons. We will call our allies from other galaxies. The humans cannot have won everything." But even as he spoke, new reports arrived that made his situation worse. Human ships had been detected in 17 different star systems, all of them heading towards Zephyrian colonies. The humans were not waiting for the aliens to recover. They were coming to finish the war. Captain Troy Walker commanded the UES Nemesis, one of the fastest ships in the human fleet. His mission was simple but dangerous. Reach the Zephyrian capital world before they could organize new defenses and deliver humanity's final ultimatum. The Nemesis used an experimental jump drive that could travel faster than any alien ship. The technology was dangerous and had killed test pilots before, but Captain Walker volunteered anyway. Someone had to carry the message that would end the war. "Sir," his navigator reported, "we are approaching the Zephyrian capital system. I am detecting hundreds of defense platforms and patrol ships." Captain Walker looked at the tactical display. The alien capital was protected by massive space stations armed with planet-killing weapons. Under normal circumstances, attacking this system would require the entire human fleet and result in heavy casualties. But these were not normal circumstances. The Nemesis carried something more powerful than weapons, the threat of human determination. "Take us straight to their capital world," Captain Walker ordered. "Maximum speed, no evasive maneuvers. I want them to see us coming." The Nemesis dropped out of hyperspace directly above the Zephyrian capital planet. Alarms screamed throughout. The alien system as defense platforms turned their weapons toward the lone human ship. But Captain Walker was not there to fight. "This is Captain Troy Walker of the United Earth Fleet," he broadcast on all alien frequencies. "I carry a message for your Emperor. You have exactly 1 hour to surrender unconditionally, or we will demonstrate what human overkill protocol means when applied to an entire planet." Emperor Kexvol received the message in his throne room. The idea that a single human ship would dare to threaten his capital world was unthinkable. But after seeing what humans had done to his invasion fleet, nothing seemed impossible anymore. "One ship," the Emperor said to his advisors. "One human ship threatens our entire world. Should we destroy it?" Grand Admiral Kethmar shook his head. "Your Majesty, remember what happened at Sol. The humans turned their whole system into a trap. What if this is also a trap? What if there are more human ships hiding nearby?" The Emperor looked at his military advisors but saw only fear in their eyes. The same aliens who had conquered dozens of worlds were now afraid of a single human vessel. On Earth, Admiral Carter stood in the command center monitoring Captain Walker's mission. Around him, displays showed human fleets moving toward Yaw, alien colonies throughout the galaxy. The war was almost over, but this moment would determine whether it ended with negotiation or total destruction. "Sir," his communications officer reported, "we are receiving responses from alien colonies in 12 systems. They all want to surrender before our fleets arrive." Admiral Carter nodded. The aliens were learning that resistance was hopeless. Their military power was broken, their fleets were destroyed, and their colonies were defenseless. But the Emperor still had not responded to the ultimatum. President Davis joined Admiral Carter in the command center. She had been monitoring the situation from her office but wanted to be present for the final moments of the war. "Ben," she said, "what happens if the Emperor refuses to surrender?" Admiral Carter looked at the displays showing human ships positioned throughout alien space. "Then we show the galaxy what happens when someone tries to exterminate the human race. We make sure no one ever makes that mistake again." On the Zephyrian capital world, Emperor Kexvol walked through his palace gardens, thinking about his choices. He could fight and watch his people die, or he could surrender to a species his empire had discovered less than a year ago. An hour passed. Captain Walker's deadline arrived. The Emperor had not responded to the human ultimatum. "This is Captain Walker," Troy broadcast to the alien capital. "Your time is up. Prepare to learn why humans consider overkill to be a reasonable tactical doctrine. But instead of firing weapons, Captain Walker did something the aliens did not expect. He waited. The human captain knew that sometimes the threat of destruction was more powerful than destruction itself. 10 minutes later, Emperor Kexvol's response came through the radio. "Human commander," the Emperor said, his voice barely above a whisper. "The Zephyrian Empire surrenders unconditionally. We submit to your terms and ask for mercy. Captain Walker felt relief wash over him. The war was over without firing another shot. Your surrender is accepted, Captain Walker replied. Prepare to receive our peace negotiators. Any attempt to resist or break this agreement will result in the complete destruction of your civilization. The news of the alien surrender spread through human space within hours. People celebrated in the streets of every human world. Children who had been afraid of alien invasion could now sleep safely. The nightmare that began at Kepler Station was finally over. Admiral Carter received surrender documents from alien colonies throughout the galaxy. The Zephyrian Empire, which had ruled this sector of space for 1,000 years, formally surrendered to a species they had underestimated. Dr. Nina Cross sat in her laboratory on Luna, writing her final report on the war. Her weapons had worked better than anyone had hoped. The plasma cannons, smart missiles, and overkill protocols had turned humanity from victims into the dominant military power in the galaxy. The enemy made a fundamental error, she wrote in her report. They assumed that a species capable of turning their own star system into a weapon would be satisfied with mere survival. They learned too late that humans do not just fight wars, we redefine them. Commander Lisa Hayes, the survivor from Kepler Station who had started it all, stood on the observation deck of a new space station being built where Kepler had once existed. The station would be called New Kepler, a monument to the people who died and the victory that followed. They came to kill us all, Lisa said to the memorial wall listing the names of everyone who died in the attack. Instead, they taught us that we are stronger than we ever imagined. Major Kelly Brooks and Sergeant Tim Walsh, veterans of the boarding actions that had captured alien ships, trained new Marines in the techniques that had proven so effective. The galaxy now knew that humans did not just destroy enemy ships. They captured them and learned from them. Captain Jake Morrison was remembered as a hero who had sacrificed his life to save civilian escape pods. Schools and ships were named after him. His final message became the motto of the human fleet: make them work for it. The war had cost humanity 3,000 lives and dozens of ships, but it had gained them something more valuable: the respect and fear of every other species in the galaxy. The humans who had once been unknown explorers were now the undisputed military power in their region of space. Admiral Carter stood on the bridge of the UES Retribution as his fleet returned to Earth. Behind him, captured alien bioships were being studied by human scientists. The technology would help humanity build even better ships for future challenges. President Davis met the returning fleet at Earth's orbital stations. She gave a speech that was broadcast to every human world in the galaxy. We did not start this war, she said, but we finished it. We showed the galaxy that humans may seem peaceful, but we are never helpless. Anyone who threatens our people, our worlds, or our future will learn the same lesson the Zephyrians learned. The war was over, but its effects would last forever. Humanity had taken its place among the great powers of the galaxy, not through conquest or expansion, but by proving that some species should never be underestimated. The aliens had wanted to send humans a message about their place in the universe. The message they received in return was written in the wreckage of their fleets and the surrender of their empire. Never start a war with a SP.